Breaking throws is one of those mechanics that really checks new players. Throws are usually very damaging and for certain grapplers fatal if you're unable to break them. Throws are essentially the game's premier scrub check.
The seas are calling our names, we must go proclaim.
If you can't deal with throws even somewhat consistently, you can't truly call yourself good at the game, in my personal opinion. However, there is many ways in which you can deal with throws, and that doesn't necessarily mean breaking them, as I will explain later on in the video. But for now, let's explain how throws work. Throws are always broken either by pressing 1, 2 or 1+2, each depending on the type of throw. Generic throws can be inputted by either pressing 2+4 or 1+4. All characters in the game have these generic throws. These throws can simply be broken by pressing either 1 or 2. It does not matter. Once you see the grab animation, input 1 or 2 and you will successfully break it. Easy, right? Well, the issue arises when your opponent starts to use command grabs, yes, which are character specific and have one specific break button. You can tell which break you need to input simply by looking at the animation. If they reach out with their left arm, then you need to input 1, which is your left punch button, to break it. If they reach out with their right arm, it's a 2 break. And if they're reaching out with both arms, you have to press 1+2 to break it. It takes very good reactions to do this, however. Throws, in my opinion, cannot be broken unless you have the correct muscle memory upon seeing the throw. It's almost similar to how snake edges work, which are super slow lows that are good in low ranks where players don't have much experience seeing them. But once you've seen it just a few times, they become virtually useless for your opponent. Throws are considerably better than snake edges, however, but you get the gist. Now, the way that I train throw breaks is extremely simple and can actually be done in between games now. Find a character that has a full throw game, meaning a 1 throw, a 2 throw and a 1+2 throw. This is pretty easy to see in their move list, as it now tells you which throw requires which break. You then want to record these throws with your training dummy, click play and bam, you're breaking throws. I recommend just starting with 1 breaks and 1+2 breaks as a starting point, as all 3 at once can be overwhelming. At least it was for me. Like I said, you can do this in between games, so you can always be practicing. Keep in mind that Tekken 8 added counter hit throws, which significantly lower the break window when you're hit with them. What this means is if you're just mashing anything expecting to break generic throws, you could just be giving away free damage. So learn this properly, and no shortcuts. Now that you have a basic understanding on how to break throws and how to practice actually doing them, you can get into the slightly more advanced stuff. In Tekken 7, you used to be able to sidestep throws, which gave you a free out a lot of times. However, this was changed in 8, so remember this or you will get punished. Throws are 90% of the time high, which means they're duckable. Few very specific examples like King, Drag and others will have mid throws, but you have to lab those yourself. However, they're still broke the same way. I'm broke, man! King throws is a very viable way of simply just not dealing with a throw break, and you will also get a punish if done correctly. As another buff to throws, Tekken 8 also added a lot of unbreakable throws, which must be ducked, but like I said, if you see them coming, and you usually will, as these unbreakable throws usually come from stances, you can duck and get a punish every single time. Very simple. Everything I have said goes for 99% of the Tekken cast. However, in this game, there is one character that is completely different, a completely different animal, some may say, and breaks some of these rules. Character is King. First of all, King's giant swing throw requires a 1 break, although it looks like a 1+2 throw. This means he has a constant mix-up with his other shining wizard throw, which is an actual 1+2 break. So when you see the 1+2 grab, it's simply a guessing game of whether to click 1 or 1+2. Now if you find yourself being hit with a giant swing, then you have to remember that if you tech roll as soon as you hit the ground, the damage of this throw will be reduced significantly unless you hit the wall, at which point you just die. This is the first tough thing to deal with, but now you have the info, you're not just out there mindlessly clicking, at least I hope so. King also has access to 70,000 different chain grabs, which are basically multiple throws within one throw. At the start, dealing with these is exactly the same as dealing with normal throws. Click the corresponding throw break, easy peasy. However, if he gets you in a chain grab, it becomes a guessing game. Depending on the chain grab, King can go in two different directions, kind of like a string but throws. You need to guess which string he is going to do and mash the corresponding 1 or 2 break, or else you die. This is all pretty surface level, but if you want a full anti-King guide so you can stop being abused by these throws, like, subscribe and comment, as it helps let me know what you want to see.